Welcome to Linguistics series, a podcast about linguistic courses taken at the most peaceful university in Nigeria, Usmanu Danfodiyo University, Sokoto. In each episode, we bring you the highlights of topics in linguistic courses taken at the Department of Linguistics, Usmanu Danfodiyo University, Sokoto. This is with a view to complementing the physical contact teaching and recovering teaching and learning losses between and among lecturers and students of the university. I am your host, Isa Muhammad. In today's episode, we are going to highlight important facts about one of the language families in Africa, and that is Nilo-Saharan. My dear listeners, I would like to begin by highlighting the general overview of the Nilo-Saharan phyla. Talking about its distribution, Nilo-Saharan is one of the four major African language phyla, together with the Afro-Asiatic, Niger-Congo, and Khoisan. Nilo-Saharan languages are spoken by about 46 million people in a central belt extending westwards from east of Lake Victoria through southern Sudan and Chad, parts of Niger and Nigeria, up to Mali in West Africa. In terms of classification, the Nilo-Saharan phylum encompasses about 130 languages grouped into 11 subgroups. These include a large Eastern Sudanic branch plus 10 additional minor branches, namely Central Sudanic, Maban, Puliak, Songhai, Fur, Saharan, Gumuz, Koman, Berta, and Kunama. Now, to talk about the subfamilies of Nilo-Saharan, let's start with the Eastern Sudanic subfamily. Eastern Sudanic languages subfamily of Nilo-Saharan are spoken in Chad, Egypt, Sudan, South Sudan, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. They are spoken by about 22 million people and a subfamily divided into the following groups. Nubian languages are spoken in South Egypt and Sudan, and they include languages like Dogon Lawi, Nubian, Midob, and Hill Nubian. Together, they are spoken by around 2 million speakers. Nera or Nara subgroup in Western Eritrea is spoken by about 90,000 people. Then Temayan subfamily found in the Nuba Hills in Sudan include languages like Tayman, Doni, and Tese. These languages are spoken by less than 20,000 speakers. Next is Inyima group spoken in the Nuba Hills of Sudan. Languages spoken under this subfamily include Inyimag or Ama, Guinic, spoken by around 100,000 speakers. Next is the Eastern Jebel, spoken in the East Sudan. They include languages like Guam, which is the largest, then Aka, Kelo, Molu. Together, they are spoken by about 80,000 speakers. Next is Surumic subfamily, spoken in Ethiopia and South Sudan. They include languages like Majang, Pregu, Meen, Suri, Didinganarim, Murle, Pennet, and Kachipo Balesi. The number of speakers for these is put around 400,000 to 500,000 speakers. Next is Daju, spoken in South Sudan, Chad. Member languages are Shat, Logoric or Liguri, Daju Mongo or Dar Daju, Dar Sila, Inyala or Daju Dardur, then Injal Gulge language. These languages are together spoken by around 2 250,000 speakers. Next is Tamam, subfamily of the Nilo-Saharan, spoken in the Western Sudan and Eastern Chad. Member languages are Tama, Sungor, Mararit, spoken by about 200,000 speakers. Then you have Nilotic sub-branch of the Eastern Sudanic Nilo-Saharan subfamily, spoken in the North Tanzania, West Kenya, North Uganda, South Sudan, Sudan and Ethiopia. It is the largest Eastern Sudanic subgroup. It has about 18.7 million speakers and is divided in Western, Eastern and Southern subgroups. The Western subgroup include languages like Dinka, Luo, and Nuer, spoken by approximately 9.4 million speakers. Then Eastern subgroup includes languages like Bari, Kakwa, Tesu or Atesu, Karamojong, Toposa, Turkana, Lotuko or Utuho, Masai, Samburu, with a total native speakers of about 4.7 million. Then the southern subgroup include Kalenjin and Datoga as member languages, which are spoken by about 4.6 million speakers. The second subfamily of the Nilo-Saharan language family after Eastern Sudanic is Central Sudanic, whose member languages are spoken in South Sudan, Central African Republic, Chad, Cameroon, Uganda, Democratic Republic of the Congo. There are close to 10 million speakers for Central Sudanic languages. The subfamily is divided into the following subgroups. The first one is Lendu subgroup, which is found in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Member languages are Lendu and Ngiti, spoken by about 1.2 million speakers. The next one is Mangbetu subgroup, which is also found in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Member languages are Mangbetu, Lombi, and Asoa. They are together being spoken by more than 1.1 million speakers. The next one is Moru Madi, spoken in South Sudan and Democratic Republic of the Congo as well as in Uganda. Member languages are Lugbara, Arenga, Logo, Madi, and Moru. They are spoken by more than 4 million speakers. The next, subgroup is Mangbutu Ife subgroup, found in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Uganda. Member languages are Mangbutu, Movyuba, Endo, Mamview, Lese, and Ife. They are spoken by about 400,000 to 500,000 speakers. Sara Bongo Bagimi subgroup is found in the Central African Republic, Chad, and South Sudan. The group includes about 40 languages including Jur, Modo, Bagimi, Naba, Golei, Ngembe, which is the most numerous, and Sara. They are together spoken by about 3 million speakers. The next one is the Kresh subgroup, found mostly in South Sudan. Member languages are Kresh or Baya and Aja. They are about 20,000 to 30,000 speakers. The third subfamily of Nilo-Saharan after Eastern Sudanic and Western Sudanic is the Saharan, whose member languages are predominantly found in Chad, Niger, Nigeria, and Cameroon. Member languages include Kanuri, Pedaga or Teda, Dazaga or Daza, Zagawa or Beri. These languages are spoken by about 7.5 million speakers. The fourth subfamily of the Nilo-Saharan is Songhai. Member languages are spoken in Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Benin, and Nigeria. Member languages include Zarma, spoken in Niger; Koira Chini, spoken in Mali; Koira Boro Senni, spoken in Mali; Dendi, spoken in Benin; Central Songhai, spoken in Burkina Faso; Tadak Sahak, spoken in Mali; and Tasawak in Niger. These languages together are spoken by about 4 million speakers. The fifth Nilo-Saharan subfamily is Maban, whose speakers and member languages are found in the border area of Chad, Sudan, and Central African Republic. Member languages include Maba, Masalit, Marfa, and Aiki. They are spoken by about 800,000 speakers. The sixth Nilo-Saharan subfamily is Fur, whose member languages are spoken in the Western Sudan and Eastern Chad. They include languages like Fur and Amdang, spoken by about 850,000 speakers. The seventh Nilo-Saharan subfamily is Kuliak, found in the northeast Uganda. The major languages spoken under this group are So and Inyangi, spoken by about 10,000 speakers. Furthermore, the eighth Nilo-Saharan subfamily is Koman, whose speakers and member languages are predominantly found in the border between Sudan and Ethiopia. Member languages are Uduk, Kwama, Komo, Upuo, and Gule, which is an extinct language. There are tentatively 50,000 speakers under this subfamily. The next Nilo-Saharan subgroup is Berta. Its languages are found in the border between Sudan and Ethiopia. Berta language is member language of this subgroup and is spoken by about 270,000 speakers. The 10th subfamily of the Nilo-Saharan language is Gumuz. Its member languages are found in the border between Sudan and Ethiopia. Gumuz language is spoken by about 250,000 speakers, is a member language. Finally, the 11th and the last subfamily of the Nilo-Saharan language phyla is Kunama. Its languages and the speakers are found in Eritrea and Ethiopia. Kunama and Ilit languages spoken by about 200,000 speakers are member languages. My dear listeners, don't forget that we are still discussing about one of the language phyla of Africa, that is Nilo-Saharan. Let us now pay attention as I take us through some key languages classified as Nilo-Saharan. I will highlight their number of L1 speakers, subgroup of Nilo-Saharan they belong, and the places they are spoken in Africa. It is pertinent to know that around 46 million people speak Nilo-Saharan languages in Africa. The most important are Kanuri, spoken by about 7 million speakers, is a Saharan branch of Nilo-Saharan, spoken in Nigeria, Niger, and Chad. The next language is Kalenjin, which is being spoken by about 4.5 million people. It is Eastern Sudanic Nilotic sub-branch of Nilo-Saharan, predominantly spoken in Kenya. The next language is Luo, with 4.5 million speakers. It's Eastern Sudanic Nilotic, member of Nilo-Saharan, predominantly spoken in Kenya and Tanzania. The next language is Dinka, spoken in South Sudan, a member of Eastern Sudanic Nilotic subgroup of Nilo-Saharan, with about 3.5 million speakers. The next language is Zarma, with about 2.8 million speakers. It's a Songhai sub-branch of Nilo-Saharan, spoken in Niger. The next language is Teso or Ateso, with about 2.3 million speakers. It is also Eastern Sudanic Nilotic sub-branch of Nilo-Saharan, predominantly spoken in Uganda and Kenya. The next one is Lugbara, with about 2.1 million speakers. It's a Central Sudanic language spoken in the Democratic Republic of Congo and in Uganda. You have Maasai with about 1.4 million speakers. It is an Eastern Sudanic Nilotic member of Nilo-Saharan spoken in Kenya and Tanzania. You have Nuer with about 1.4 million speakers. It is Eastern Sudanic Nilotic sub-branch of Nilo-Saharan spoken in South Sudan and Ethiopia. The next language is Dogon Lawi, about 1.2 million speakers. It is Eastern Sudanic language of Nilo-Saharan, spoken in Egypt and Sudan. The next language is Mangbetu, with about 1.1 million speakers, spoken in Democratic Republic of the Congo. It is a member of Central Sudanic sub-branch of Nilo-Saharan. The next language is Lendu. Lendu has about 1 million speakers. It is a Central Sudanic Nilo-Saharan language spoken in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The next language is Ngambe with about 1 million speakers. It is also a Central Sudanic Nilo-Saharan language spoken in Chad. The next one is Fur or Fur with about 800,000 speakers. It belongs to the Fur sub-branch of Nilo-Saharan, predominantly spoken in Sudan. And then finally you have Nobin as a language of Eastern Sudanic, classified as a Nubian language, with about 700,000 speakers, predominantly spoken in Sudan and Egypt. My respected listeners, let us now discuss about some important linguistic shared features of the Nilo-Saharan languages that made scholars classify them as one family. In terms of phonology, most Nilo-Saharan languages are tonal languages. They have 2 to 4 tones. However, a few on the periphery of Nilo-Saharan and in contact with non-tonal Afro-Asiatic languages appear to lack tones. That is, some varieties of Songhai and Nubian. Tones are used more often to mark grammatical distinctions than to make lexical distinctions. Advanced tongue-root vowel harmony is very common among Central Sudanic and the Nilotic and Surumic group of Eastern Sudanic. They exhibit advanced tongue-root vowel harmony in which two sets of contrasting vowels never coexist in the same word. Implosives consonants occur in the Central Sudanic and in the Eastern Sudanic groups, such as Surumic, Tama, and Daju, as well as in Gumuz and Koman. Labial velar stops like Kwa and Gwa are found only in Central Sudanic and a few neighboring Nilotic languages, as well as in Songhai. Some Central Sudanic languages like Kresh and Mangbetu have labiodental flaps. Morphologically, nominal case marking systems are widespread across Nilo-Saharan languages, but are absent in areas contiguous of Niger-Congo languages. Cases are marked by suffixes or tonal differences. Gender is not generally marked, except in some Nilotic languages. Nilo-Saharan languages may have complex number marking systems. Characteristically, many have singulative marking, that is, the singular is marked while the plural is the basic unmarked form. Collective nouns may be marked in the singular to single out one item, for example, blood to drop of blood, hair to one hair, and so on and so forth. Some languages have a three-way number marking system. That is to say, in certain nouns, the plural is marked, while in others, the singular is marked, and in others, both the singular and the plural are marked. On their verbal morphology, tense, aspect, and person or number are marked by affixes, sometimes accompanied with consonants mutation. Aspectual distinction between perfective and imperfective is very important. Converbs are frequent in the Nilo-Saharan languages of Ethiopia, as well as in some of more western areas. They are non-finite verbs. Verbs with reduced inflection, which are used in dependent clauses to describe successive actions in a narrative. In terms of syntax, word order varies in different language groups. In some, the verb occupies the initial position, that is verb, subject, object, or VSO. Others are verb final, that is subject, object, verb, or SOV. In some others, word order is quite free. In Eastern Nilo-Saharan languages, the VSO type is more common, while SOV is more frequent in Western languages. Syntactic relations are indicated by case marking and the use of adpositions. My respected students, with the foregoing highlights of Nilo-Saharan language phyla, you are advised to deepen your knowledge about the phyla. This you can do by reading available resources, which can be found in any relevant open educational resources website and by visiting the libraries. With this, we have come to the end of today's podcast. In the next episode, I will be talking about another African language phyla, Khoisan. Until then, it's your host, Isa Muhammad, wishing you Barka de Sallah.